Disabled person reviews disabled meter at part 120, Snow White. The dwarf situation in this film has been a mess since the beginning, and while there was no world where this movie was ever going to solve that issue or really grapple with the complicated disability legacy of the Seven Dwarfs, I do think the solution they came up with was one of the less successful options they could have chosen. The issue at hand is that the existence of the original characters has wreaked a lot of havoc for little people who are often compared to them and stereotyped along those lines in a very gross and dehumanizing way, and after this was pointed out, Disney decided to make them less little men like they're described in the original film and more in the magical creature realm, which meant turning them into horrific CGI creatures that explicitly specify they're not human. And the struggle at hand is that casting little people to portray the stereotypes in the original film is obviously an issue because that makes people think those stereotypes are being condoned by the community, but at the same time, those are also big breakout roles for an underrepresented community in film, and at least I would have preferred that to having average height actors CGI'd as small for the role. I think there's also a world where the script could have expanded out those characters to iron out some of the stereotypes, which might have made it a little bit less bad. The switch to CGI creatures I can maybe follow, since that removes the visible embodiment of stereotype, but then all of them except one are played by average height actors, so that's not great. They also made some choices I don't quite agree with regarding Dopey, the arguably disabled dwarf. We will tackle that in my next review. The one positive is that there are 7 bandits who connect with Snow White and ultimately save the day at the end, and one of them, the one who specifically saves the day and sort of leads that group, is a little person whose character I thought was really well written within the constraints of this film having way too many characters and thus not really being able to flesh out any of them properly. So that piece of it is a win, but overall I feel like Disney sort of tried to sidestep the complicated legacy of the dwarves so as to not make anybody angry in a way that I think was just a complete miss in my opinion.